Hello students, today we are going to see a solution of second order differential equation of series RLC circuit. Till now we have seen first order RLC circuit. Today we are going to see second solution of second order differential equation of your series RLC circuit. So this is a figure indicates where you are having resistor, inductor, capacitors are connected in series. This is a switch. This switch is closed at t equal to 0. This switch is closed at t equal to 0. So after closing the switch, the circuit becomes like this, RLC circuit. So here we can write this is a circuit at t equal to 0 minus this is at t equal to 0 plus. At t equal to 0, the switch is closed. So at t equal to 0 minus just before switch closed, the circuit is off like this. Just after switch closing, the circuit off like this. So this is off. This is forming a closed circuit. So some I current flows through the circuit. So here we can apply KVL to the circuit. So at t equal to, so by applying KVL to the circuit, so we can write here by applying KVL, total voltage is equal to, so total voltage V is equal to the voltage drop across your resistor, voltage drop across your inductor, voltage drop across your capacitor, where VR is nothing but where VR is equal to I into R, where I is equal to I into IC, where I is equal to can I consider IC? Yes, IC is nothing but current flowing through the capacitor. Here current flowing through the capacitor and current flowing through the inductor and resistors are same. So what is the equation for your current flowing through the IC? IC is equal to, we can write D into VC by dt. So VR is equal to, here we got VR is equal to I is equal to IC. So RC into d VC by dt. So let us consider this is for VR. Similarly for, let us find for VL. So what is the VL? So VL is equal to L into di by dt. But what is I? I is equal to C into dVC by dt. So VL is equal to LC into d square VC by dt square. So d square VC by dt square. Let us consider this is equation number 1. Substitute this VL and VC in equation number 1. So by substituting in 1, we are going to get, so V is equal to, VR is R into C, that is RC into d VC by dt plus VL is LC into d square VC by dt square, d square VC by dt square. So let us take LC common. If you take LC common, so we are going to get d square VC by dt square, d square VC by dt square plus, if you take LC common, R by L into dVC by dt, which is equal to, so d square VC by dVCT. So sorry, here we need to write plus VC. VR is, this is your VR, this is your VR and this is your VL, and we left with one more term, that is your dt square plus VC. So this is the equation. So d square VC by dt square plus R by L into dVC by dt plus VC by L into C, which is equal to V by L into C. So here we got a second order linear differential equation. So if you have observed here, d square VC by dt square plus R by L into dVC by dt plus VC by LC equal to V by L into C. Let us consider this is the equation number 2. So this, by seeing the equation number 2, what is the order of this differential equation? 2. So we can consider this is a second order differential equation. So we have a generalized equation for second order differential equation. So the total solution for this one is, the total solution of this second order differential equation contains complementary function plus particular integral. Complementary function and particular integral. What do you mean by particular integral? Particular integral is nothing but the response of the circuit at t equal to infinity. At t equal to infinity, that is nothing but steady state response. So particular integral is nothing but steady state response. Steady state response, and complementary function is nothing but your transient response. Transient response. We are going to see transient response and steady state response. The combination becomes your total response of the circuit. So this is the differential equation we got: d square Vc by dt square plus R by L dVc by dt Vc by Lc equal to 1 by Lc. The total solution contains complementary function and particular integral. Complementary function is nothing but your transient response, and particular integral is nothing but your steady state response. So let us consider steady state response is nothing but the response at t equal to infinity. The response at t equal to infinity. So let us consider for this circuit. So for L is equal to, for L the current voltage across the inductor. So VL is equal to L into di by dt, and IC is equal to, current IC is equal to C into dVc by dt. So this is your voltage across the inductor and current through the capacitor. If t tends to infinity, what happens? If this t tends to infinity, this total term becomes 0. So this total term becomes 0. So then VL becomes 0. If VL is 0, is nothing but short circuit. Short circuit. And for this one, if t tends to infinity, this total term tends to 0. Then IC tends to 0. IC equal to tends to 0 is nothing but open circuit. It means that at t equal to infinity, the circuit becomes like this. At t equal to infinity, this inductor acts as a short circuit. So this can be replaced with a short line, and this capacitor acts as a open circuit. So in this situation, so at t equal to infinity, so this is the circuit. So this circuit is like a open circuit. So is there any current flows in this? No, zero amount of current flows. If zero amount of current flows, then the voltage drop across this resistor is 0 volt. But in the circuit we have applied some voltage V. So this is nothing but capacitor. So whatever the voltage we apply, that total voltage will be dropped across the open circuit terminal. This open circuit terminal is nothing but your capacitor. So can I consider Vc is equal to V? Yes. So at t equal to infinity, that is of the steady state response of this total RLC circuit is equal to V. So the steady state response is equal to V. Here we got the steady state response. Vc is equal to, the steady state response is equal to, we got here V. So Vc is equal to V. Now this is the time to find our complementary function, that is your transient response. So this is our second order differential equation. The solution of second order differential equation. So just replace d square by dt, dVc by, let us consider dVc by dt with capital D. So by replacing dVc by dt with capital D, this total equation becomes, so this equation becomes d square plus R by L into D plus Vc by Lc. So a transient response, the transient response is nothing but, that is your source free response at t equal to 0 plus a transient response. So this term becomes 0. This term becomes, for complementary function. So So what is the equation for complementary function? Generally we got in the complementary function there is only q value. In the particular integral you are going to get this, here the q is 0 for transient response. So let us consider here 0. So for transient response the equation becomes d square plus r by l into d plus vc by lc equal to 0. So this equation is like a ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So what is the solution for this one? That is of minus b plus or minus under root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So the solution of this one is minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac by 2a. So by using this equation, so here you are going to get d1 d2. d1 d2 is equal to, the factors are here d1 and d2. This d1 d2 becomes minus r by 2l minus r by 2l plus or minus under root of r by 2l whole square, r by 2l whole square minus 1 by l into c. So these are the factors for this second order differential equation. So d1 d2 is equal to minus r by 2l plus or minus r by 2l whole square minus 1 by l into c. Let us consider l is equal to r by 2l and beta is equal to under root of r by 2l whole square minus 1 by l into c. So from this we can write d1 is equal to minus alpha plus beta and d2 is equal to minus alpha minus beta. So these are the factors for this differential equation. So now we are going to see some cases. So while discussing your resonance response, we have discussed some angular frequency. That is, we got 1 by under root of LC. This omega is equal to 1 by under root of LC is called as natural frequency. So this is called as natural frequency. Natural frequency or frequency of oscillation. Natural frequency of oscillation. So what do you mean by frequency of oscillation? Frequency of oscillation. Actually, this inductor and capacitor are having a tendency to oscillate. This inductor and capacitors are having tendency to generate oscillations, but this resistor will suppress this oscillation. This resistor will try to suppress these oscillations. So L and C are having a tendency to generate oscillation and resistor suppresses this oscillation. In our circuit we are having inductor, capacitor and resistor. So we are going to get some oscillation. So this omega equal to 1 by under root of LC gives you the frequency of oscillation. So what is the frequency of that oscillation? And alpha is equal to r by 2l. Alpha is equal to r by 2l. R by 2l indicates damping coefficient. R by 2l indicates your damping coefficient. R by 2l indicates your damping coefficient and L by, that is of your alpha by omega. Alpha by omega is called as zeta. This is R by 2 into under root of L by C. R by 2 into under root of L by C. This is called as damping factor. This is your damping factor. Here we come across with two words, that is of your damping coefficient and your damping factor. What is this damping coefficient? What is the use of damping coefficient? This damping coefficient decides how well the circuit is able to damping the oscillations, and the damping factor decides how well the circuit responds to different excitations. Here we are going to consider some cases. Here we are going to consider 4 cases for this. Case 1. Case 1. Case 1. The case 1 is R by 2L. R by 2L is greater than, R by 2L is greater than 1 by L into C. R by 2L. From where you got this R by 2L and L and C? From the factors. We got something like D1, D2 equal to minus R by 2L plus or minus under root of R by 2L whole square minus 1 by L into C. So from this case 1, if this R by 2L, is greater than 1 by under root LC, then this total the value which is under this root becomes positive, minus plus or minus. So by considering here, you are going to get D1 is equal to, D1 becomes minus alpha plus beta, and D2 is equal to minus alpha minus beta. But what is alpha? Alpha is equal to R by 2L, and beta is equal to under root of R by 2L whole square minus 1 by L into C. So minus alpha plus beta minus alpha minus beta. So in this case, you are going to get roots will be negative. In this case, when R by 2L whole square greater than 1 by root into LC, here you are going to get roots will be negative. Roots will be negative. Roots will be negative and real. Here you are going to get real roots, because in the root you don't have any negative value. If you would have negative in this root, then you would get like imaginary. So but here you are going to get roots will be negative and real. So that roots are D1 is equal to minus alpha plus beta, and D2 is equal to minus alpha minus beta. So from this we can write VC of t is equal to, so VC of t is equal to C1 e power solution E1 D1 into t plus C2 e power minus D2 into t. This is a solution for the case of 1, R by 2L whole square greater than 1 by LC. The VC of t is equal to C1 e power minus D1 of t and C2 e power minus D2 of t. So this case 1 is called as, so whatever the response you are going to get, that is called as overdamped response. So the response obtained is called as overdamped response. Overdamped response. Overdamped response. Now the second case is case 2. Case 2. In the case 2, we are going to consider R by 2L whole square is equal to 1 by L into C. If R by 2L whole square is 1 by L into C, so what will be the D1 D2? D1 D2 is equal to minus R by 2L plus or minus under root of R by 2L whole square, R by 2L whole square minus 1 by L into C. If R by 2L whole square is equal to 1 by L into C, this total term becomes 0. So here you are going to get D1 comma D2 is equal to minus R by 2L. But R by 2L is nothing but alpha, so which is equal to minus alpha. So D1 D2 are equal to minus alpha for the case of R by 2L whole square 1 by L into C. So by solving, by using the mathematics, already you know the how to find the factors for second order differential equation. By following that, you are going to get Vc of t is equal to C1 plus C2 into t e power minus alpha into t. So the response in this case is called as, the response obtained in this case is called as critically damped response. Critically damped response, and this condition is called as critically damped condition. Critically damped response. The condition is called as critically damped condition. R by 2L whole square equal to 1 by L into C. Next we are going to see the case 3. Case. So I am not going to like how you are getting, because you already studied in your differential equations. The third case is R by 2L whole square is less than 1 by L into C. So in this case you are going to get D1, D2, the factor, the roots equal to, the roots you are going to get minus R by 2L plus or minus under root of R by 2L whole square minus 1 by L into C. If this R by 2L is less than, if this value is less than, then what happens? If this is a less value and if this is a more value, then the total value in the root becomes your negative, then negative of root becomes your j, you are going to get j term you are going to get. So in this case the roots will be, in this case the roots will be complex conjugate. Complex roots will be complex conjugate. That roots are d1 is equal to minus alpha plus j beta and d2 is equal to minus alpha minus j beta. These two are the roots, and the solution becomes, Vc of t is equal to, so Vc of t is equal to e power minus alpha into t C1 cos beta t plus C2 sin beta t. So this is your response. So in this case the response obtained is called as underdamped response. The response obtained is called as underdamped response. Underdamped response. So till now we have seen three things. That is of your R by 2L is greater than 1 by L into C. This is your over damped response condition. Then R by 2L is greater than is equal to, that is of R by 2L whole square is equal to 1 by L. This is called as critical damped response condition. Then R by 2L is whole square is less than 1 by L into C. This is called as under damped response condition. Now we are moving to the last condition, that is where case 4, where R equal to 0, So what are the factors we have? Actually D1 comma D2 is equal to, minus R by 2L plus or minus R by 2L whole square minus 1 by L into C. If this R is 0, this total term is 0, this total term becomes 0, then you are going to get 1 by L into C. That is minus becomes, that is your j square, that is j into under root of 1 by L into C. So D1 becomes, D1 is equal to j into under root of 1 by L into C. So 1 by LC is nothing but we can write j into omega, because omega is equal to 1 by under root of L into C. So we can write D1 is equal to j omega and d2 is equal to minus j omega. So these two are the roots when r equal to 0. So d1 is equal to j omega and d2 equal to minus j omega. Then in this condition, the Vc of t is equal to, C1 cos omega t plus C2 sin omega t. So let us conclude. So before concluding, let us draw one graph. So we are going to draw a graph which indicates your overdamping, underdamping and critical damping. What do you mean by overdamping, underdamping? This is T and this is your voltage, that is your Vc of T. So under steady state condition, this is the steady state value. So this is your steady state value. The steady state value, what is the steady state value we got? Vc of T is equal to, we got only V, because the voltage across the inductor is 0, current, that is of voltage drop across the resistor is also 0. So this is your steady state value where T is equal to infinity. So this is your V. This value is V. So this value indicates your V. This is T equal to 0. So let us draw a graph for overdamped. So under the overdamped, the graph will be like this. The response will be. So this is for your under overdamped. Next, let us draw for critically damped. So this is a graph for critical damping. Let us draw a graph for underdamped. This is a graph for your underdamped. So if you have observed here, so this is for overdamped graph, and this is your critically damped. This indicates your critical damped, and this red line indicates your underdamped. So in overdamped, so I'll draw this one with okay. So this is the red line indicates your overdamped. This middle line indicates your critical damped, and this blue line indicates your underdamped. If you have observed here, in the overdamped, you don't have any oscillations. In critical damped also, there is no any oscillations, but in the overdamped, you are going to get some oscillations, and these oscillations are dying out after settling period. And one more thing, in overdamped, the response reaching to steady state at later cases, something like a t is equal to t1. Let us consider. So this is of a t3. This is considered t3, and for this one let us consider t2, and this is your t1. So here T1 is less than, T2 is less than T3. T3 is related to overdamped, and T2 is a time related to critical damped, and T1 is related to your underdamped. So here T1 less than T2 less than T3, but in the overdamped it is taking more time. It is taking more time to reach a steady state value as compared to your critical damped and underdamped. Among these three, these in the underdamped condition, the curve is reaching very fast to a steady state, but it is having some oscillations. So these oscillations are going to die out according to the settling period. These oscillations are going to settle. That depends upon your settling time. The time required to settle these oscillations, the time required to die out these oscillations is called as settling time. This settling time depends upon your resistor, inductor and capacitor values. So this is your response of your series RLC circuit. Let us conclude here. Here we have considered three cases, that is your R by 2L whole square is greater than 1 by L into C. This is called as overdamped condition, overdamped, and here we got Vc of t is equal to C1 e power minus dt plus C2 e power minus d1t, this is d2t. Next, R by 2L whole square is equal to 1 by L into C. This is called as critical damped condition, and here we got Vc of t is equal to C1 plus C2t e power minus alpha into t, and the third case is R by 2L whole square is less than 1 by L into C. This is called as underdamped condition. Here we got Vc of t is equal to e power minus alpha into t cos C1 cos dt beta t plus C2 sin beta t, and the last case is we got R equal to 0. So in R equal to 0 we got Vc of t is equal to C1 cos beta t plus C2 sin beta t. So this is about your conclusion for your series RLC. The next class we are going to see parallel RLC. Thank you.